Here's 5 things I learned from living with roommates throughout the years. I'm just gonna be honest. I really don't think I've ever lived by myself. In my whole life, I've always lived with other people. And I think I have some pretty good things I would love to share, for anyone that's, just basic knowledge. Number one, there will be conflict. When people are living in close proximity to one another, there will be disagreements. You have to learn to live with these people and get along with them. Try to understand your roommates before you get mad. So, this was something I had to I still deal with to this day, little disagreements. A lot of the times it has to do with chores. It has to do with bills, financial stuff. Really just, you're gonna have disagreements on shit like that. Cleaning the bathroom. If you share a bathroom with someone, that causes some issues. I used to have a roommate that would bring their girlfriend over, and she would cook food out of our fucking fridge, and she was one of those people that would use a shitload of dishes. There's like the people that use like one fucking pot for everything. That's the people I like. That's what I try to do if I can. One fucking pot, throw everything in, cook it. This guy's girlfriend would come over like fucking every other day. And this is one of the bitches that would use the fucking measuring cups. Oh, she needs a bowl to fucking mix this up. She's gonna fucking use all these strainers and all this fucking bullshit. So by the time she cooked one meal, there was like fucking 50 dishes behind for some mid-ass food. And, guess what? The other 2 roommates, he would like come to a room and hand us the plate. Like, oh bro, my girlfriend, she cooked for y'all. I'm like, alright, cool. Bro, hey, you gotta do the dishes cause she cooked for y'all. I'm like, bro, what? We gotta do the dishes because she cooked? Now, I get that. I honestly completely get that. But every other fucking day, and then the fact that she used like 20 million fucking dishes to do this shit, for some mid-ass food that I didn't even ask for. Yeah, no, there was some disagreements regarding that. I just stopped accepting the food eventually. I was like, I don't want it. He's like, you sure? I was like, no, dude, fucking, she's got to do the dishes. And guess what? She stopped coming over and cooking in our stuff. And I was like, why don't you fucking cook at your house? But it was some stupid shit. Another thing, financial wise, I actually was with another roommate recently. I was staying with someone. I'm back in my I was living in 2 places at once, basically. I still had a room here, and I was living also part-time with like another person. It was a stupid thing. I'll make a video about it, but basically, it was like month number 1, and literally, he was able to pay like the first like month's rent. Second month comes around. This place is only like $800 a month, cheap. Internet, water, electricity, everything. Fucking the Wi-Fi was included. It was kind of a weird place, but it was only $400 each from both of us. The day comes for the rent. He doesn't have a fucking dollar to his name. I wish I was fucking making that up. And so basically the options were that we either get kicked out for not paying rent, or I pay the fucking rent, the $800, and then he basically makes like a promise to me that he's gonna make the money back or whatever, which I was thinking about doing that. And then the very last day, I was like about to take the money out of my bank account, and I was like, actually, I don't want to fucking do this. You know what I mean? And I'm already staying at another place. I don't need this fucking place. I wasn't even staying there like most of the time. I was still over here where my fucking office is, you know, where all my shit is. And I was like, dude, I don't fucking need this. So I picked him up. I was like, all right, dude, we're fucking leaving. And I told him, I was like, dude, I ain't paying. I'm not gonna pay the full amount. You should have had the money. So yeah, we basically broke off that situation. Okay, number 2, expectations versus reality. Before someone moves in with you, you will only really think about the positives, the fun that you will have, and not about the stress that comes with it. This one is really important. I've had this same thing happen a couple times. Actually, I've had to kick people out because of this actual thing. Like, you think that they're gonna do good. You think they're saying all this fucking stuff. They're saying everything you want to hear. Oh, I'm gonna do this, and this. You know, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna do this and that. And not that stuff doesn't happen, but a lot of the time the expectations are that everything is gonna be good, when in reality their bad habits start showing up, you know? Like, they could be really lazy, they could be really narcissistic, passive aggressive, you know? I had a roommate situation with a family member. I thought it was just going to be fun and amazing, and we were going to be best friends. And this was one of my cousins, actually, funny enough. And once he started living here, he was very nice at first, and out of nowhere, basically his true colors started coming out within like the first like 2-3 months. He turned out to be like really fucking lazy, really passive aggressive. I could go on and on. I'm not gonna get too far into that, but he was fucking hell to be around. He eventually like wasn't able to make the rent. That's a big thing that I've ran into so many fucking times. Guys just getting fucking lazy on me, you know? Out of nowhere, they just don't have the money, they're not working, they fucking spent their money. And it's like, bro, come the fuck on. Like, just pay your fucking dues, you know? So they end up just being a big fucking waste of time. Or in like, yeah, being passive aggressive is another thing. Like, I've had that before. Or they're just lazy as fuck. They only do things when you tell them. You say, hey bro, we gotta wash the dishes, and they'll wash the dishes, and they'll do this, and they'll pick up. And then if you don't say anything for like 2-3 weeks, guess what happens? They're just fucking lounging around. They're just not doing shit. They're fucking being lazy fucks. So yeah, keep your reality in check. I've done this a million times, and I've gotten burned a million times by this. So yes. And if you are a roommate, be a good roommate and do chores and don't be lazy. Okay, number 3, it teaches you social skills. You'll become a stronger person. Responsibility, etc. So, living with other people really kind of helps you with your social skills in a way, you know? I'm going to get more into that in the next point, kind of ties into this. But forcing yourself to be around another person, you know, you have to talk to them, you have to get along with them, you have to learn how to, you know, just be friendly, and how to deal with someone in like close proximity to you. And living with someone is a really mind-opening experience, and if you're a good roommate, it makes you more responsible because you don't want to be a fucking shithead that, doesn't do the dishes, or, does weird stuff, or fucks up shit, like leaving messes and whatnot, being loud, being annoying. You have to learn to be better and be more like accommodating to other people's personalities, and you learn to know them on a deeper level. And I think that living alone, honestly, like I said, I've never really lived alone, so I can't really give much of a perspective on this, but I've heard from people that live alone, and it sounds pretty boring and like a lonely existence. A lot of people get roommates just because they're bored, just because they want to come home and talk to someone. You want to talk about your day at work, or the struggles that you're going through. And I would say that's one of the good things, is like, yeah, you get to have someone to talk to and someone that you can relate with if you guys are cool. I know there's certain roommates that just don't talk and they just go to the room, they don't really interact, but in all my situations where I've lived with people, I've always connected, even the ones I didn't really like, the ones that were problems, I always connected with them on some level. We had shared experiences. There was good times and bad times, of course. Okay, number 4, it can be fun. Living with roommates can be a rewarding experience. I believe everyone should give it a shot. With friends, family, or even strangers, socializing, partying, meeting new people, this helps you feel less lonely. So, yeah, I mean, this is kind of like the same point as the last one. I remember when I was, rooming with a couple guys in the past, we had lots of parties. A lot of people would come over. Every weekend was like a fun, like, hangout event. This was back when I used to party. But, we would get really drunk, and I mean, yeah, we had a lot of fun. There was like wrestling, and like, people go crazy, and we're taking shots, and we're playing like video games in the living room. Yeah, I've had many parties with roommates before, barbecuing, cooking, we're cooking together, we're having a good time, we're sharing stories, we're sharing experiences. Like I said, it can be really fun. You get to meet their friends, you get to meet people that you would have never met before, family members, ladies, so it definitely has its benefits of the socialization stuff. And if you're an introvert and you're having trouble making friends, I would honestly say try to get a couple roommates if you can that are like around the same age as you. If you're like a student or something, or you're in the military, you'll make friends, and if you're cool with your roommates, you'll kind of become friends with their friends, and that'll kind of open up your world to like a whole bunch of other stuff. So yeah, I mean, enjoy the experience. If you're gonna be in this situation, you might as well enjoy it, and you might as well try to connect, and you might as well be positive for the most part, and be a good person, and interact with your roommates, and talk to them, and actually understand them, and just be a cool guy, Number 5, friends versus family versus strangers. Friends versus family versus strangers. Let's talk about it. So, I'll start off with family, because that's most people's situation. I think family can be a hit or miss. It depends on the family member, of course. I've lived with family members that, I had a great time, we were cool. We had our differences, we had our fights, but we still respected each other, we still loved each other. But for the most part, like, yeah, you know, we get along pretty good, and family has your back for sure. And I've had family members that I've lived with where it's absolute hell. Um, Super toxic, you know, constant fighting, and it's like because you're family, it's like even worse than than if it was just like a friend or a stranger, because it gets more personal, and the things that get said are even like more hurtful, or sometimes it could even get physical because it's a family member. I've had that happen. So yeah, I mean, be careful with family. I would say they're probably the best bet, but they're not the be all end all. Like I said, I had roommated with one of my cousins before, and I had to kick him out because it was fucking horrible, and I never want to relive that experience. He was such a little bitch. But yeah, strangers. I have lived with strangers before, briefly, for about a year. Several different strangers, and I would say it's not terrible. You do get to know them, and they turn from okay, best case scenario, if you live with a stranger and you're cool, you become friends. I mean, by proxy, that stranger becomes a friend. If not, if y'all aren't super cool, it's just kind of weird. You know, you don't really like talk to each other that much. Some people want that, you know, they just want a room and they just want to like not interact with someone. I get that. But yeah, strangers, it can be good or bad. Obviously with strangers, it's easier to disconnect from them, you know. If you need to get away from them or break that bond, it's a little bit easier. So I would say if you're up for it, yeah, go ahead, live with strangers. I would say just properly vet them and figure out what kind of person they are before you start sharing a place with them. And if you don't have a choice, which that was in my case, when I had to live with strangers, I didn't have a choice. So I was just kind of stuck with them. So I just kind of learned to get along with them. And yeah, we had great times, and yeah, it really wasn't too bad. I lived with one stranger that was annoying as fuck. He would play Bible music loud as fuck at night, and I would get up, I would wake up, I'm like, dude, can you please turn that down? And he would turn it down, right? And then slowly he would increase the volume by like the single increment over like a period of 20 minutes. Like little by little he would increase the volume. And I was so fucking pissed. Like I would get up and I would yell at him. And I was like, dude, turn that shit off. And like I kept waking up because it's like this like hallelujah music, like hallelujah. He was black and he would play that hallelujah like gospel shit. He's like, hallelujah, come on sugar, let's get going, God is watching right now. I'm like, dude, please fucking stop this shit, man. Like, I'm just trying to fucking sleep. I just want to listen to silence. And it was fucked up because we were like literally sleeping in the same room. Yeah, and like he was playing this shit on his fucking phone, dude. Anyways, friends, that's a good one. Be careful rooming with friends. Don't take it personal if things don't work out. I think you could still be friends with this person even if it doesn't work out, if you're like mature about it. Like for example, like yeah, my last roommate situation that ended because my friend couldn't pay the fucking rent. Yeah, like I could have taken that the wrong way and been like, dude, I don't want to talk to you anymore. Fucking irresponsible. We lost a place. I could have bitched about it. But, you know, I just kept it 100 with him. And I was like, look, dude, this is a situation, just, you know, you couldn't make the rent, that's it. I mean, and he took it fine, you know, we're still cool. So, yeah, with friends, be careful. I'd say with friends, that's the one where the expectation versus reality could come in. You know, when you think of rooming with a friend, you're only thinking about the positive. Oh, we're gonna become best friends. You know, oh, everything is gonna be fucking awesome. Oh, I get to see my buddy every day. I get to hang out with him 24/7. It's not as glamorous as you think. I would say, like, yeah, be careful. Because you start to see versions of them that you didn't see before. You're like, holy shit, this dude is fucking dirty. You know? Excuse me. This dude is a pig, or whatever, or this dude's lazy as fuck. Or this dude's a fucking alcoholic or something, you know? And when you have that disconnect, when you're just friends, when you hang out, when you drink, you know, you just see them in passing or whatever. You don't know how they are at home until you really live with them. And they could be a really cool person, and they could be, like, really cool. Or they could be toxic as fuck. I mean, it really just depends. Usually it's not the toxicity. It'll be bad habits. Like they don't wash the dishes, or they don't fucking shower. That was one of them. Like they fucking stink, basically. But yeah, that's 5 things I've learned from living with roommates. I hope that this video was entertaining. I'll have to share more roommate stories in the future. I've got some nightmare stories for sure. And yeah, peace out. Subscribe to the channel. You know, we're trying to grow this channel. I'm trying to share this knowledge with some other young men. You know, younger guys. You know, guys that are trying to get their life together. So I hope this information helps someone. Alright, y'all have a blessed day.